Hello, welcome to E24. Well, it was described as a storm in a Mad Hatter's teacup, but today Odeon announced it will screen Tim Burton's 3D version of Alice in Wonderland. The cinema chain had said they would boycott the film because of plans by Disney to release it on DVD sooner than usual. Their change of heart means the A-list cast can now focus on the world premiere of the film, which is happening tonight in London's Leicester Square. And Colin is there for us now. There you go, Colin, take it away. Looking rainy there.
Hello, this is Alice in Umbrella Land tonight. It's very wet at the world premiere, but I'm joined by the White Queen, Anne Hathaway.
Hi there.
Anne Hathaway, this is pretty wet.
Well, you know, I have not mastered the British art of looking stoic in the rain. I'm freezing.
Well, let's try and make this quick for you. Play the White Queen. How would you describe your take on it? Because there's a lot of this, a lot of the hand movements.
Wait, can you show me one more time? Is that what I did?
This is the performance.
It's very small. Well, I thought that I was actually, my movement in the movie was inspired by the costume that I got to wear, Colleen Atwood's costume. I really, honestly, I'm just a big dork, and when I put it on, I was overjoyed and started gliding around the room like a little girl. And then I realized that was actually, this is Wonderland, and that might actually work.
And there is a kitchen scene. I believe there was a certain British TV chef who may have provided some inspiration, Nigella Lawson.
Yes, Tim asked me to check out Nigella Lawson's videos, and I was really inspired by her, kind of the way she loves her kitchen and knows every inch of it, and it made me think about that scene differently.
If you'd been able to tell the 8-year-old Anne Hathaway that she would appear in this movie, how excited would she have been?
She would be overjoyed. She would probably never, ever, ever, ever stop talking about it, and she would go up to random strangers and ask if they wanted to hear her recite the entire film.
And we're hearing in the headlines, the dispute's over between Disney and the Odeon. Everyone can go and see this now. How important to you is it, as an actress, to have your work seen by people on the big screen rather than DVD?
Well, I won't answer that question as an actress. I will answer that question as a moviegoer. I like going to the movies. I like to be able to, I like to have the options when I go. I think you're able to see a lot more nuance in the filmmaking, and so I love going to the movies.
Anne Hathaway, the White Queen, thank you very much for joining us on the green carpet as it is tonight. Earlier on, Johnny Depp arrived. He plays the Mad Hatter. Now, Lewis Carroll wrote this book in 1865. The first film version was in 1903. So I asked him, how was this a new take on the story?
Well, it's very simply Tim Burton's take on Alice in Wonderland, which to me is the kind of the perfect marriage in terms of bringing Lewis Carroll's wonderful masterpiece to life.
You are the Mad Hatter, quite often using a Scottish accent. Now, what Scots did you base that on?
I was going sort of in the direction of Glasgow.
Why Glasgow?
Well, there's a gravity to Glasgow that I sort of liked in terms of the accent. There's a gravity and a kind of strength to it that I really appreciated.
A madness in Glasgow?
I wouldn't go there.
Now, obviously this film is in 3D, but I believe you have difficulty watching 3D films. Explain.
I can't actually see in 3 dimensions because I got a gamey eye.
What happened?
Well, I was just born that way.
And finally, there's been a lot of talk about the release dates. That's thankfully all sorted now. How important is it to you as an actor that people see your work on the big screen rather than on DVD?
Well, what's most important in all of this is the people. The film was made for the people, and it's not about my relationship with a corporation or Tim's relationship with a corporation or anything else like that. It's a film made for the people, and that's why we're all so happy it's been resolved, really.
Johnny Depp at the world premiere of Alice in Wonderland. This is a big one. To my left, we've got Entertainment Tonight, the big US show. To my right, I've got Japanese TV. They've come from all over the world. Back to the studio.
Colin Patterson in Leicester Square, go and get dry. Thank you very much indeed. OK, last night saw the best of British rock battle it out for the top honours at the annual NME Music Awards in London. Muse picked up Best Band and Kasabian got Best Album. Paul Weller was handed the brilliantly named Godlike Genius title, but it was a bad night for Oasis, who are snubbed, losing out on 3 awards. Well, E24's Lucy O'Doherty is here. So, Lucy, a big night for Kasabian and Muse, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kasabian won 2 awards, as you said, including Best Album, and they are going to feel so vindicated about it. You always get the impression with Kasabian, they've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They've been a people's band for so long, and the critics have hated them, basically. But now they've got this. At the Brit Awards, they said it was long overdue they got an award, so they'll be very happy about that. And Muse as well, it's delightful to see them get the Best British Band Award because they always get the best live act. It's become such a cliche that any award show, Muse get the best live act. They seemed actually genuinely surprised that they got a different award for a change. So that's quite nice for them.
Talking of chips on the shoulders, Oasis got nothing, did they?
No, despite getting nominated for 3, but luckily they weren't there, so they didn't get to go home empty-handed. And of course they were up against Blur, their traditional rivals, which is something that's going to last through their entire careers, even though that career is now over, now they've split up. But yeah, against Blur for Best Live Act, and it was a strange one for them to be up for anyway, because it was for Heaton Park, the Manchester gig, which the power went, and they had to leave the stage, and it was delayed, and then they offered the fans their money back, and then they withdrew it and offered it again. So it wasn't exactly the template for your typical award-winning gig, so I'm not so surprised they didn't pick that one up.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that great. What about Lady Gaga? She got winner and loser all together, didn't she?
Yeah, for her outfits, surprisingly, seeing as that's what Lady Gaga is all about, really, isn't it? It's all about the look. And she got best dressed and worst dressed, which I would say Lady Gaga is pretty much the best dressed and worst dressed person in any room she's ever in. It's fantastic to see her getting these awards, because every year that I can remember, it's always Pete Doherty who always gets put up for those, and now it's someone who's got outfits worth talking about being named for them, so that's quite nice.
Better dressed than Pete Doherty, there's an award in there. OK, Lucy, thanks so much. That's all the entertainment news for now. Now I'm back at 9:30. Back to you, Julian.
Matt, thank you very much indeed for that. Let's bring you up to date with the evening's business news now. Babita.